Germany greenlights use of NATO missile strikes deep into Russia. Germany today greenlit the use of NATO missiles to strike deep into Russia in a show of Allied unity after Moscow pounded Ukraine with its largest drone barrage so far. Chancellor Friedrich Merz said that Germany along with Ukraine's other key Western backers had lifted range restrictions on weapons they send to Kyiv. There are no longer any range restrictions on weapons delivered to Ukraine, neither by the British nor by the French nor by us nor by the Americans, he said. Ukraine can now defend itself, for example, by attacking military positions in Russia. With very few exceptions, it didn't do that until recently. It can now do that. The previous German government had strongly supported Kyiv, but stopped short of sending it long-range Taurus missiles, fearing further escalation with Russia. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said today that the new policy would run counter to aspirations for a political settlement to the crisis. The US has been negotiating with Ukraine and Russia to try to bring an end to the conflict after more than 3 years. But French President Emmanuel Macron said today that Donald Trump had finally realized that Putin was not looking for peace. President Trump realizes that when President Putin said on the phone he was ready for peace, or told his envoys he was ready for peace, he lied, Macron said. In a rare rebuke of the Russian leader, Trump said on Truth Social late Sunday in Washington, "I've always had a very good relationship with Vladimir Putin of Russia, but something has happened to him. He has gone absolutely crazy. I've always said that he wants all of Ukraine, not just a piece of it, and maybe that's proving to be right, but if he does, it will lead to the downfall of Russia." The US president has been trying to broker an end to the war, but has failed to extract any major concessions from the Kremlin, despite repeated negotiations between his administration and Russia and several phone calls between him and Putin. Macron said Monday he hoped Trump's anger at Moscow translated into action as Europe hardened its own response to Russian aggression. Merz, in Germany, vowed that "we will do everything in our power to continue supporting Ukraine, including militarily, in close coordination with other supporters." He has in the past said he favors delivery of Taurus, which could strike targets deep inside Russia. His government has since stressed it would no longer detail what arms it is sending to Ukraine, preferring a stance of strategic ambiguity. Speaking in a lengthy interview with public broadcaster WDR, Merz did not say whether Germany would now send Taurus missiles to Kyiv. The recently appointed chancellor however took the opportunity to slam Putin's reluctance to engage in talks to end the fighting in Ukraine. The Kremlin chief has responded to diplomatic efforts to bring the conflict to a close by prosecuting the war harder than before, Merz told WDR. Putin obviously sees offers of talks as a sign of weakness, Merz said. The Kremlin on Monday said European countries lifting restrictions on long-range missile capabilities for Ukraine would be a dangerous move, Kremlin correspondent Alexander Yunishev reported. Since US President Donald Trump returned to the White House this year, he has sought to push the two sides in the conflict toward direct talks at the highest level. Trump last week suggested the Vatican as a possible host for a meeting, with the Italian government saying the leader of the Catholic Church was ready to organize talks. But Moscow has cast doubt on the potential for the Holy See as a host. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said it would be inelegant for the Catholic Church to mediate discussions between two principally Orthodox Christian countries. Merz said that Ukraine's Western backers had sought to use all the diplomatic options available to them to initiate talks. After the last 3 weeks, no one can seriously accuse us of not having exhausted all available diplomatic means, Merz said. Short of raising the white flag, Ukraine's supporters had done everything they could. If even an offer to meet at the Vatican does not get Putin's approval, then we must be prepared for this war to last longer than we all wish or can imagine.